What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 91 of my Total Warhammer 3 Vlad and Isabella Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, foul Tzeentch cursed us and prevented us from moving for a turn, halted our faction to my extremely great annoyance. It's not as annoying an ability as Swap Settlement is, but it's still a very annoying ability. Especially in the late game when you have so many armies and you can do so much in a single turn. Damn that halt faction, and that's exactly why we wanted Tzeentch dead. That essentially made it into a much more admin-heavy episode than I would have liked, but it did essentially allow the enemy to move closer to us, which prepared us for what's looking like some very nice battles. Lord Skrolk together here with 2 extra full stacks, and then up north we have near IRMINE 2 full stacks of Forces of Chaos. So we got things to do, we got things to fight and kill and raise and fight again. Now we do have one thing that I think that we want to do, and I know I've been talking about this and have been delaying on vassalizing the Cathians. One of the reasons being I wanted to get them both at the same time, but I think perhaps we can do one. I do have an idea, because on the one hand the Cathians will dislike each other for breaking the treaty, which is the reason I haven't been vassalizing them so far. On the other hand, a single turn after the breakage of a treaty probably won't make them hate each other all that much so quickly. So maybe we can risk it. The more difficult Cathian to vassalize is going to be Miao Ying, but I did check the diplomacy between the episodes, as I like to do, and we have exactly enough money right now, if we give them a Wang Chang, to vassalize them. Basically all the money we have in the world. So I think we'll risk this. If this means that then later on the western provinces don't want to vassalize as much, what we'll simply do is declare war on Nagorond, which is a fairly powerful faction and may even draw some more enemies in, and thereby weaken the western provinces because they'll be drawn into it via our military alliance with them, and hopefully still be able to get that vassalization going. So here we go, our first Cathian vassal, strength rank 8, the northern provinces, 83,000 gold, but you know, it's a pretty big faction, so it should be worth our time.
A boon to the defense.
Alrighty, and one of the great things about that is we no longer have to deal with this garbage, as in building all of these stupid little settlements around here, because I really kind of wanted to avoid that. And oh, 1 second, on that happy note, I have to move my cat. Alrighty, cat moved and the game continues. Every episode, I swear. Let's see what we can get up to right now. So first of all, Renki, we'll do a little bit of admin and then obviously we'll go into some big battles. Renki, you're gonna take Dragon's Crossroad. I think you can either auto-resolve it, or is there even a garrison? There isn't even a garrison there. Take it. And then, just out of curiosity, we can transfer it to these guys, right? Yes, we can. Okay, good. I was worried about them not taking it, but since it seems like you can transfer it to them, hopefully they'd be willing to hold it. Once again, I do find it weird that they never seem to bother going up north, but maybe now they'd be a little bit more willing to actually fight somebody. Though, of course, they do still have to destroy the Dreadfang fleet? Dreadfang fleet is what I said? Dreadfang, Dead Flag, close enough. Wait, is there something called Dreadfang here? Dreadfang... I don't know, it sounds like it could be a thing, but you know, anything edgy could probably sound like it could be a thing. Anyway, that was the Dragon's Crossroad. Let's check the Foundry of Bones as well. Roddy, I want you to go there. Now, Renki, have you gotten the defeat trait for Village, which is pretty good. Let's occupy this, or auto-resolve this for now. And occupy, don't even bother sacking it, just stay there. Free Charmed Shield and Eastern Steppes are ours. We can delete all of you, and we can pop that... yeah, pop that Foster Terror. So, Renki, do you has Village Defeater? Season campaign, yeah, conjoined separated. So they both do, unless I'm mistaken, or does Rod not have it? Yeah, they both have it. Okay, so it doesn't really matter who fights Village. And frankly, Village's army is so weak at this point that he can't do anything. He'll definitely not be able to break through the gates with that kind of army. Well, it looks like only the Red Fortress remains up here, so if we can take out Village with one of these armies, and then simply move to the Red Fortress with the other, we can leave this place and start moving up north. Oh, speaking of moving up north, we've got a stack here, which means we should probably start on yet another temporary army to deal with this garbage. Ugh, and Granite Spikes, you were... well, at least you weren't leveling up to tier 3. All the other places were. I guess that was the right move. Now, I was gonna potentially have Lutz do it, but maybe we'll use Jacob Bachman here instead. Just because Lutz can be maintained as a lord somewhere else. And, oh... Jurgen is probably going to actually be a lord. He just wasn't needed in the south anymore. Yeah, fine. Let's go with you, Jacob Bachman, just temporarily. Let's see if we can raise any crypt horrors here. And yes, we can raise... oh, but we don't have we don't have the money to raise anything. We do have a decent amount of ghouls and crypt horrors, though, but... you know what? There's a way we can acquire more money. And that way is called... Big Battle. Alright, so Nikola, you are going to move right here, not in full speed stance. Ooh. Yeah, right, let's say there. Move. I'm not even sure that Bathilda actually needs the reinforcement. That's the funny thing, her army is so obnoxious that I'm pretty sure she could defeat all 3 stacks without too much trouble. Nonetheless, though, we can bring in the second army to leech a little XP. You have... basically no more room to do anything, so just go wound and assault units. We will level up for this, just before the fight. Replenish troops. We still have points to spend here, so I guess Van Hells, and then 1 point in Gaze of Nagash. Not that we'll ever waste our mana on it, or at least not likely. You can get replenished troops as well. No, you know what? The vampires shouldn't be getting replenished troops. Oh. Okay, so we just gotta make sure we level you last. Fine. We don't really care about the Purple Sun. The Fate of Biuna is useful, but probably not against the Skaven, as they don't have a good target for it. I do really like Soul Blight, however, so I think we'll keep this one leveled up. And let's get you Evasion. We can also get both Earthing and Magical Reserves, but I think we'll hold off on the rest of these. Let's also spend the 1 point and replenish troops just so that it is there. Let's also then get... Grave Ward is more worthwhile than Safeguard. And now we'll start moving towards Dark Benediction on ya. You are level 42, so you don't really care that much about what we do, though you do have limited points. Let's see. We don't care about Augury. 15 via Inviolable is okay, but it ain't that much. I don't particularly give a damn about Soothsaying or Conviction, to be perfectly frank. I'd rather put the points into the actual lore here. Grave Ward is useful, though, and Mentor is, to a degree, useful. So let's do that, and then we'll probably get Inviolable and probably Augury, and then just spread out a few more points into the rest of this. Let's get the Withering. I like it, and I don't really care that much about the Enfeebling Foe, to be perfectly honest. Not that we ever use Withering all that much either, but at least it's tangentially useful. And then this will take us to 45. This will take us to 48, and then we could still max out the Enfeebling Foe if we really wanted to. Yeah, fine, max out the Withering, I guess. Alrighty, well, that's prepared. Let's have a big battle. Hopefully my computer doesn't crash with the sheer amount of enemy units on field. Do we want to attack Lord Skroak? Or do we want him to come in as a reinforcement? What does he have here? There's a decent army, but... that's a lot of mutant rat ogres. Yeah, we probably want to kill Lord Skroak before the other armies move in to reinforce, so let's go after Skroak first. Alrighty, here we go, Bathilda. You've done a lot over the campaign, and it looks like you're gonna continue. Oh, he's going to run! You little coward, Skroak. Wow. You don't want to fight 3-on-1. Or 3 on 2. Fine. Okay, here's what we'll do. You, Nikola, are going to move away. I guess you could try to chase after Skrolk. I doubt that he'll fight you, though.
No, not for us.
I mean, there is a possibility. You know what? I think he's actually more likely to fight Bathilda, possibly, because as we saw, the Auto Resolve doesn't like her very much. Let's move you back. Actually, Lord Skrolk will be able to chase you down anyway, so let's do this. Let's put you here. If he wants to fight you, then he'll get to. And if he doesn't... Oh, yeah, with 2 armies, he probably will. Now, will you 2 fight? Oh, we can't reach them. I should have attacked with you. Ah, they would have ran away anyway. That's annoying. Well, that may be annoying, but... Okay, wait, that's also a problem. And the problem is... Alright, here's what we do then. We'll put you back into full speed stance and we'll hide you behind Bathilda. I was thinking if we leave you out alone, Skrolk will attack with 4 armies at 1, but now maybe with 4 he'd be willing to. Well, once again, that may be a problem to some degree, but you know what? We still have a battle ready for us right here with IRMINE and these 2 stacks. No way that these guys run, and even if they do, I'm willing to bet that we can reach them. So, let's level you up real quick, and then let's attack. Now, what is critical here? I don't think we care about any of this. Dark Pact, leadership, could be useful, but we need it right now. Penumbral Pendulum, honestly, Raised Dead is pretty much always useful to max out. Even if you have Necromancers, it's just too good. And the spell uses +1, yeah, it's probably going to be worth it, so do that. And then we'll go for Invocation of the Heck and the Penumbral Pendulum. You have the Unliving Host, and I don't want to spend any other points there. You have Seduction, and that looks good. The rest of you guys, you have Master of the Dead. You can't reach Mentor. You can have Gaze of Nagash, and you can, I guess, start moving through these points, mostly because you have nothing better to do. You already have it maxed out, which is fine. Let's get you then your Gaze of Nagash, and your Van Hells. And hopefully we still have 17.
Death Ascendant.
Yes, alright, good. Good. Oh, wait.
What?
With the end of the turn, do we have a new Necromancer available? We do a Dark Majesty? Okay, fine, well, we can do a Dark Majesty. It's not great, but it's better than nothing. So... where are we? Right here. So you are Dark Majesty as well, yes? No, you're Devious. Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, you can follow this army, but we'll get the Dark Majesty guy in here instead. Right after. Probably shouldn't be wasting more money, but whatever, too late now. And you are on a Balefire cart, you are also on your Balefire cart. But maybe we keep you on the Balefire cart for now. We keep the Unholy Lodestones, but the Balefires will be useful against any demonic units here, because they'll apply some magical damage. Yeah, fine. As odd as it is, maybe in some certain situations we should keep Balefire. Anyway, you can have Grave Ward, you can have Replenished Troops, but otherwise, I hope I didn't overdo it, but anyway. Raised Dead, Evasion, Wind of Death, Earthing, Arcane Con... oh yeah, we have plenty of points to go around. Plenty. And Curse of Years, in fact, you get your entire lore tree. Level 29 summons, is pretty darn decent. Almost to Mentor, we just need a few more of those growth buildings, and we'll be able to get Mentor right away, basically. And just keep leveling these guys up all over the place. And I guess that's it. Alright, well, you can have boost income then. Not that we'll be getting too much money out of it, but if every Necro everywhere has boost income, then wherever they're located, they'll get some benefit from it. Alrighty, you are going to go into March Stance. And, oh, Attrition. Well, it's unfortunate, but nonetheless we need to head out to Carrick Doom or to Tribe Slaughter, regardless of the attrition, and hope that we can, head off Mr. Archaon. You follow along. It looks like you can't actually join the army, but that's fine. Archaon will probably go here. His army doesn't look all that great either, so shouldn't be all that concerning. Alrighty, now, IRMINE. I've kept you waiting long enough.
I shall drink.
And yes, indeed, they will fight. Let them fight. I've been waiting for my opportunity to say that. What do we got here? We got a couple demonettes. The first army is kind of meh, but the second army is pretty decent. They've got dragon ogres, a decent amount of trolls, some chaos spawns, some chaos warriors, rather than those pathetic little marauders. So should be an exciting time. Gleaming pennant and a war banner. Let's put those on. Blood Knights, what's the likelihood that Blood Knights actually take enough damage to warrant needing the extra HP? Pretty low. Same with the Necros. Wolves are the ones that are the most likely to get badly damaged. Let's go with them. Alrighty, two armies at the same time. Let's see if IRMINE can pull this off. It's quite a lot of enemies, and more importantly, it's quite a lot of enemies and we don't have a Mortis engine to thin the herd, which should be pretty interesting by virtue of that alone. It'll mean we have less HP, or less healing on our side and less damage on the other side. Mortis engines are pretty critical, especially in the late game to these armies, of course. Fortunately, IRMINE is on that zombie dragon now, so she does have air superiority all by herself, since the enemy has barely any ranged units that could do anything about her. Of course, there is a manticore and I believe some furies, but she should be able to take care of those. And of course, summon zombies on the field as needed. Otherwise, we are going to deploy forward in a reasonably large blob here, but we've separated our Blood Knights, our Ghouls, our Cairn Wraiths, and our Giant Wolves. Dire Wolves, damn it. Great, now I'm confusing the Giant Wolves with the Dire Wolves instead of the Dire Wolves with the Giant Wolves. Well, isn't that just lovely? Yeah, these guys have separated into two little fast-moving forces on the flanks, which we're going to use to hit the enemy, hopefully after they've engaged our main force here. And oh, they have a Chaos Lord of Khorne as well here. Well, that's interesting. This guy should have decent stats. My Valkia campaign is anything to go by, but he's only level 3, so at least not too concerning. And we do summon some zombies and immediately get countered with the Chaos Sorcerer Lords of Metal, Searing Doom. Unfortunate for us that he does have that, because it's only 5 mana cost, and there will be a lot of it by the end of this particular battle. Oh, I love the way that the metal kind of dissipates. It looks very nice. A very nice update to that particular spell in terms of graphics for Game 3, and I know I've said that before, I just really enjoy it. The Lore of Metal looks quite nice and pretty much all around. And do we get another spell coming in on us? Yes, we do. Another Searing Doom, of course, wasted on those zombies and clipping some of those marauders, but I'm perfectly happy to allow the enemy to continue to do that. While the zombies will continue distracting the marauders and the chaos warriors here, IRMINE is going to fight in the sky against that pile of furies and that manticore. She's a little bit surrounded, but she shouldn't be all that concerned about it. Yet another Searing Doom, and as I said, there's going to be a lot of those. In the meantime, the rest of our army is moving closer, slowly of course, because it is tied to the speed of the necromancers, which aren't all that quick. Let's see how IRMINE's doing against this Air Force here. She's taken about 25% HP and done roughly the same, or possibly a little bit more, to the other aerial units, but of course she has the hunger and various other ways to heal, and has been summoning zombies this entire time, wasting the enemy's mana, and doing damage just by virtue of the enemy's repeated use of Searing Doom into its own forces. That said, this is basically just an opening skirmish. The armies aren't really engaged with each other as yet. Look at all that full HP. There's a giant, there's monstrous infantry, there's a beast of Nurgle there. Plenty of stuff to kill on both sides, and frankly, it looks like they have more fast movers than we do on top of that. Very nice, and this is 4 minutes into combat. I love it. I love it. Two fairly big forces that we're fighting. makes it feel like a proper battle, you know, in the sense that there are skirmishes. It's not just like battle lines clash and then in 30 seconds everything's over, but rather it slowly ramps up as the enemy quote-unquote holds forces in reserve. We have our zombies opening up the battle and the skirmish in the sky happening as well, and of course those Searing Dooms coming down. So it's not just a couple big spells but lots of little spells, which frankly I prefer a lot of the time. Though speaking of big spells, it's our turn now. Here comes a Wind of Death moving through the enemy battle line, though slightly clipping the edge of one of our Graveguard. It doesn't look like any of them, or at least very few of them, got hit by that. In fact, 120 out of 120, so just managed to get out of that. Let's see how much damage that spell did, though. 62 kills and 8,000 damage, actually a little bit low for a Wind of Death, but it did see off a unit of Marauders and very badly beat up a Chaos Warrior unit, plus some other units, so that's fine. In addition to that, our army is now properly engaged in the main blob, though this may have been a mistake on my part, because I didn't check how much mana the enemy had, and it looks like it's going to be starting to drop those Searing Dooms right in the middle of our own blob. So credit where it's due to the AI, because that's going to hurt our Cairn rates quite a bit, and possibly our Graveguard as well. Some of the units like the Crypt Horrors aren't going to care about it, but enough will. Anyway, looks like IRMINE has seen the enemy Manticore off. She still has a few Furies to take care of, but they will continue dropping out of the sky. We have a nice little battle going on here. Everybody's attacking us from all sides. Searing Dooms and Furies, both in fact dropping out of the sky. A true chaotic battle as corpses and bloody bits of meat rain down on the forces. And in the meantime, the battle is, I'd say, half joined. Let's say half of the enemy troops are in. The enemy's actually moved around a nice contingent of Demonettes, Secret Chariots, and Marauders, as well as some other fast movers, to go around our army and hit us in the back. Very, very nice. If we had a Mortis engine, this would be playing into our hands, but since we don't, that doesn't work out so well. I've also decided to change the way that we're using our fast movers a little bit. Rather than flanking them from both sides, we're allowing this to happen and moving our fast movers back this way, such that if the enemy just engages our main blob here, assuming that the main blob can survive as it is healed by the Necromancers between Master of the Dead and the Unholy Lodestone and Invocations of Nehek Overcast, if these guys all get engaged, then our fast movers can hit them in the back just like they're planning to hit us. Plus, unlike them, we can summon zombies right in the path of the enemy and waste their time, not allowing them to hit our better units in the back. We also have a smaller contingent fighting this blob, or at least holding off this blob here, and it's a massive number of units being held back by zombie summons, a single unit of Graveguard, and a Crypt Horror unit. This Necromancer basically has to just continually summon zombies and prevent this blob from reaching us. Usually we'd want them all to join together, once again because of the Mortis engine, but since we don't have it, we'll have to play it like this. Fun stuff. Alright. Yeah, we had barely a battle last episode, but it looks like this episode we're gonna get a real good one. I mean, we did set up for these, so yeah. I'm happy with the result. Alrighty, and here comes some Chaos Warhounds. Looks like they're running away, and perhaps they've sighted our Crypt Ghouls and our Cairn Wraiths and our Blood Knights, getting ready to charge up this hill and hit these enemy units in the back. More Furies drop out of the sky, and it looks like those are the last of them. IRMINE is now ready to join the fray and perhaps get a Dragon Breath or some other stuff going. Gonna start with casting and then follow up with a Dragon Breath right in the middle of this blob here. Some Cornate Axes thrown from the Marauders of Horsemen of Khorne, and those are armor piercing, and they could be quite dangerous, as I've seen in my Valkia campaign, so gotta watch out for them killing our Necromancer or something, for example. But fortunately, the second unit of the fast movers is almost near and getting ready to hit those other units in the back. IRMINE is also going to drop down. There are lords to kill in the enemy formation, and the enemy has brought its big boy as well. The giant is wading into the fray just as our dragon is at the same time. Some nice parallels with regards to them charging us, and then us charging them, charging us in the back, us charging them in the back, spell dropping each on each other, and then the giant entering the fray at the same time as the dragon. A very nice battle. I wasn't expecting it from Well, I wasn't expecting it originally from IRMINE, especially when we originally summoned her temporarily, but yeah, now she's gonna stick around forever. I'm gonna think about giving her a few units from our allies. I'm not entirely sure which units yet, maybe some Phoenixes, because we're not using those anywhere. I'd like to get some Arcane Phoenixes in some army. Could do some Sky Junks as well. Of course, the Fire Rain Rockets would be much better, it's just... I just want to use different units everywhere. We'll see. We'll see what we have space for. And what kind of things we have allegiance for. What kind of things we can afford, I guess. Anyway, let's check the balance of power. Looks like it's finally shifted in our favor. A decent amount of enemies have run away, and we have charged into the back of both of the enemy armies, so I guess they didn't like it that much. It looks like IRMINE has nearly killed this Beast of Nurgle, as we saw her attacking it for quite some time there, plus it was getting hit by both Cairn Wraiths and Graveguard, which do seem like they work together fairly well, as obviously the Cairn Wraiths can pass through things and have an easier time hitting enemies. And then the same thing with our Crypt Cores as well. There is still a giant to take care of, and IRMINE's gonna drop back down, I think, to start on the enemy lord first. If we can do enough of a morale shock to the enemy lord, the rest of the enemy army may be able, or may go into a chain route. Yet another Searing Doom comes down, and that looked like it clipped a lot of enemy units. I think maybe it was on our Necro. But that obviously doesn't matter, and it looks like we've actually cleared this flank. It was a massive blob, as we saw before, but dissipated quite quickly, as a decent amount of the enemy units did run off the field, but hopefully we can still kill quite a few. So a good job to the Blood Knights, Cairn Wraiths, Ghouls, and Doggos for charging into the back, and of course to the Graveguard and the Necro and the Crypt Horrors for holding. Now it's just taking care of the remaining enemy elites here. We have some Aspiring Champions, Chaos Trolls, a giant, a lord, the remnants of some dragon ogres, and I think more trolls, and I think I saw chaos spawn in there somewhere. But it's looking like the battle should be ours. I don't know how visible the Cairn Wraiths are. Even when the map is really, really dark, their glow does enable you to see what's going on a lot better. And same thing goes, I suppose, for the Necros and the Balefire glowing from their corpse guard, because it sort of illuminates a small little circle around them. Your masters do desert you, and it looks like with that the rest of the enemy army decides that it will fight no more. The giant turns, and IRMINE witnesses the enemy, both the enemy armies are out before her. We're going to do our best to give chase, and we do have a lot of chasing to do. One more Dragon's Breath into the enemy blob, bringing down a Dragon Ogre as well as some Chaos Warriors. And now it's time to hit them in the back with some Blood Knights as well, who have been running around chasing off enemy units, making sure that those that those that were routing were shattered. And yeah, we have a lot of units to potentially catch here. Fortunately, we do have a decent amount of fast movers, though it may be hard to bring a few of these guys down. At least they're running through this direction rather than right here. I do wish that the enemy hadn't fought us right up here near the edge of the map, but it was a really good position. If the AI had been smarter, it could have probably closed off of this and used it as a pseudo wall, forced us to fight there, and then here. And then here at the same time, it's almost like a minor settlement with this little plateau that they have. Too bad the AI didn't take good advantage of it. I can certainly see some towers being built here while these areas were closed off, and then put some like caltrops and palisades and whatnot there as well. Anyway, with that, we're gonna speed it up. We've seen things get chased down a lot, and it was a fairly long battle, about 10 minutes. That usually signals a good time. I wonder how much of the Mortis engine would have sped this one up. I'd be curious to know. And yeah, also wondering how, well, I guess he's gone now. How many kills that Searing Doom casting Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Metal got? Was probably a lot. Man, Blood Knights are taking quite a while to bring down that giant. You'd think that that's something that the Blood Knights would be quite adept at doing. Oh, there we go, the Chaos Sorcerer, wait, no, that was the Lord of Khorne, was fallen, and the Giant, it gets brought down, just as IRMINE gets to him as well. I mean, I do wish that games allowed you to see the final death animation before ending it. I feel like a lot of games have this habit of ending the battle just as the last enemy dies, but, you know, not showing you the last explosion of the enemy ship or the last death animation. Anyway, close victory, but damn well worthwhile, in my opinion. A fine battle, and more XP and growth for IRMINE. Alrighty, not too bad, and we gained some money out of it as well, but looks like all the Warhounds survived, but we weren't gonna go around chasing them, and I guess the same thing goes for the Marauder Horsemen, but after that, neither of those armies remains viable. And on top of that, we didn't really get all that badly hurt either. Nice. Now the question is, do we heal up? Or do we get more money to raise more troops? It really depends on whether we stay in this territory or we move forward. I take it these two armies are going to run away, which would free up IRMINE to move out. You know what? Let's take a risk and let's get more money rather than the heal. Although, wait, do we suffer attrition in this? Oh, damn, no, I don't know. Let's just dominate the captives. If we suffer attrition here, then there wouldn't be... Yeah, okay, let's not risk that then. And we can't go after them right now, can we? Well, actually we can. Well, okay, fine. It'll be better to destroy them. Of course, this will mean we will suffer a turn of attrition, because I don't think we can do so in... Actually, we can. Okay, never mind. So what we will do is kill them like this. And auto-resolve. Lovely. Two armies out, of course, they'll immediately start rebuilding. I feel like in some situations it might actually be better to leave slight armies alive just so that the enemy can't immediately rebuild them, but nonetheless. I guess the question for IRMINE now is whether she moves towards the Monolith of Festerlung here, and out here, or whether she tries to head the Warhost of the Apocalypse off by trying to take out these dark fortresses. I mean, she could probably take out one. I doubt that she could take out two... or as in two stacks, as in the Cowling Citadel plus a full stack, because the garrison here is very, very strong, and we still lack a Mortis Engine or the ability to raise one here. I'm almost tempted to raise a new Lord back here just to ferry a Mortis Engine to IRMINE, because she could really use it. It'll definitely buff up her army significantly. I'm also really attached to this lord now because she was originally going to be a temporary army and only has the Lorekeeper trait, which is pretty meh. But now she's at level 21 and has gotten quite a few battles under her belt, and yeah, can't be deleting her now. Plus, we're probably going to send some armies to help, like this Richard Lichmore army, which we will replace with a better... Oh! You know what I should have done? I should have seen if we could have raised the second Mortis Engine there and then have Richard transfer his over. I do wonder if there's another massive casualty location nearby. What do we have here? 4.7k, eh? 4.7 might be enough. I know that we can raise Mortis Engine at 6,000 casualties, and I'm pretty sure at 5 and above as well, but 4.6, is it enough? I guess we'll find out when we get there. Alrighty, well, there isn't much else to do, but let's see about moving a few more units around. If we're about to declare the war on Nagarond, we should send Rudy up there as fast as he can go, so move. I actually was going to move him to deal with something here, but it's too late now. Well, yeah, you keep going out there, Rudy. You got things to do. And, you're not healing here. That's a little bit irritating. But I suppose if we take the Black Forests, or if we land at Nagaroth's territories, we can still heal. And we're not going to bother keeping any of this. This is going to our vassal. To be fair, he had this entire territory, and he fought by himself there. And, well, there's nothing we can do about that, but, whatever.
King of Darkness.
Alrighty, anybody else we can move here? Peter. Now, you're actually in range of the Black Pyramid of Nagash. I was originally going to have Bathilda deal with this, especially due to the number of troops, but perhaps it could be you. The only problem is, unlike Bathilda, you don't have nearly as much staying power. Once your artillery are out of ammunition, your army gets a lot weaker, and against 4 stacks might be a little bit much. That said, the stacks are fairly weak. You know what, I think we'll have to think about that next time, as I'm going to call the episode here, but it might be a very nice battle for Peter on his way to fight the dwarfs. Plus, there's a good chance that when we end the turn that Lord Skrolk will attack us. He may have ran with 3 armies, but with 4, perhaps he won't, especially as there are more elite troops here, and Nicola is in march stance on top of all that.
Strike out.
I'd like her to be far enough away, so hopefully they don't attack her, but instead go for Bathilda, but we'll see. If Bathilda comes in as a reinforcement, that's fine as well. Anyway, gonna call it here. Plenty more battles to come, and hopefully, now that we've gotten our first Cathayan vassal, if we end another turn... Hey, minus 28. Huh, it actually decreased. Oh, because he no longer has the military ally of the other Cathayan faction, I guess he feels weaker. Wait, just out of curiosity. Vela Titans is at 26. Oh, come on. Oh, man, if we can get another battle going. Oh, man, if we attack the Sentinels, we might be able to make enough money to vassalize him. 2.3 isn't too bad. Huh. That's the best one, right? Yeah, wow, we're actually really close. Man, if we could get money from someone, somehow, we could do it. But how? How do we get money? Tor Elisor is willing to trade, but they're fighting with the ghosts of Pahwaks. They're willing to give us 6.5k. That would probably guarantee the vassalization. But these guys will be pissed. Man. A strength rank 7. What's the likelihood that we actually get them vassalized? Minus 65. They need a settlement, and we don't have one to give them. What about piecing out with somebody? Dead Flag Fleet, no, we want them to die. Caravan of Blue Roses, same. Wintertooth. Oh, poor Wintertooth, I feel bad for you now. Yeah, there's nobody here that we'd be willing to peace out. Alrighty, well, I guess we'll leave it to next time and hope that the battle with the Sentinels, which I guess does make the decision for us, will give us enough money to vassalize the Western provinces as well. So stay tuned for that on that little mini cliffhanger. And don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.